Hey there, welcome to another video on this channel. My name is Stefan Levreze. I am the founder and owner of Titanify, and we help you get the maximum out of your systems. We help you to visualize, systemize, and automate all your business processes. And if we're talking about Microsoft 365, we help you maximize everything that you can do with it. And one of the things is actually online bookings. It's something that a lot of people forget, that they can actually do that with Microsoft 365. Now, there's a lot of tools out there, and wait a minute. If you're not using online booking software, then you're missing out and you're wasting so much time to book meetings with your potential customers, with your customers, or even with your team, right? So stop right now, take a look at this. This is the system that you can use right now if you're already using Microsoft 365. Online bookings with Microsoft Bookings is really where you should get started if you don't have anything yet. Now, in this video, actually, I'm going to show you how we are migrating from a tool that we're already using, which is Calendly, and how we can move that into Microsoft Bookings. There are so many other tools out there for online bookings, right? Online or booking your online meetings, right? But I really wanted to explore what is possible within Microsoft 365 because this environment only has one license subscription. So you only have to pay one license for yourself, right? Or for your team members, but it's one subscription, right? So you don't need to pay for a dozen of other tools if you can do everything within Microsoft 365 or as much as possible. That's also one of the reasons that I wanted to make this video, to show you what is possible. If we're looking at online meetings, booking online meetings, then we can do it in Microsoft 365. So think about that. So this is what we're going to look at. Now, there are some things that are not yet possible within bookings of Microsoft 365, but they're working on this, right? This is a tool that they will be upgrading more and more and more, just as they do with everything. And as you will see in the video later on, we show you a little bit what they're working on. You will see that there's a big demand of this. So they are definitely looking at this. They are working on this. So this is what we're going to do today in this video. So if you have any questions about this, put them in comments. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. So let's get into it. As I said, we are looking to migrate some stuff from Calendly or Acuity into Microsoft Bookings. And Microsoft Bookings is something that has been existing for a long time already, but not a lot of people know about this. And I even know a lot of business owners that own a Microsoft 365 license where they don't even know that they have Microsoft Bookings. And that's the case with a lot of tools actually within Microsoft 365. Now, let's take a look at Microsoft Bookings now. So to go to Bookings, you basically go to your starting page, right? So portal.office.com or portal.microsoft365.com, and you will be able to either go to your apps right there, and you can find it here by searching actually. So there we go. That's actually the easiest way, is to go to your portal and start looking for bookings, and there you go, there you have your app. So it will log you in and you will get into the home page of bookings. Now here you can see that I've already started to set up some stuff here. Now there's two main things within bookings. You have your personal booking page and you have your shared booking page. And you can actually have several shared booking pages, as you can see here. You only have one personal booking page. Depends again on how you're going to use this, right? So if you're using this just for yourself and you only want to have like a coffee chat, a meeting that you want to share with potential customers, with friends, or with colleagues, then a personal booking page might be enough. But if we're looking to migrate now from Calendly to bookings, then I would definitely suggest to create shared booking pages. So let me show you how my Calendly looks like, first of all. So within Calendly, I love Calendly, right? As you can see, I have a lot of meetings, a lot of event types, as they call it, set up in here. because it has a lot of options, right? You can create different groups for your different companies or even departments, and you can call it a specific name and so on and so on. The one that I'm going to focus on right now is the ones that I set up for Titanify. So I want to move these ones to bookings. And again, the biggest reasons for me to look at bookings.com, because I want to make sure that everything is integrated with my own calendar, that it's creating a Teams meeting and so on. This is also possible within Calendly. Let's go into one here. If you connect your calendar with Calendly, it is possible to actually put those meetings in there, and then you can just have to look for it. So if you open the event details of one meeting, you can basically select Microsoft Teams. So if you connect your own Teams account to it, it will automatically create that Teams meeting in your calendar. So that's already great, right? So if you think about it, moving to a tool like bookings.com, I think one of the other points is we have so many tools already, right? If you want to make our life a little bit easier, then I would say especially if you have Microsoft 365, right? Especially in that case, it makes a lot of sense to start using more and more of the tools that Microsoft has, because it is included in your license. And depending on which license that you have, it only costs you it's only the license cost, the monthly license cost or the yearly license cost that you have within Microsoft 365. So you can save money. Basically, you can save money by not using another tool like Calendly or Acuity or so on. Now, there are some things that are not possible within bookings, and I'll go through that in a minute. So, but first, let's really go into the deep here. Let's really migrate one of these event types towards bookings so I can show you how that is being done. So let's say that we want to move this event type into the bookings. So as I said, you can create a shared booking page. So you go to bookings, you click on create booking page, and here you can create one from scratch. The thing that you need to understand here is if you create a new shared booking page, it will create an email address actually, because the meeting invites and so on will be sent from that email address. So it will create something like, okay, business name @domain.com. The business name here is coming from this one. Like here, the name, if you say test, it will create an email address test at, and then your domain. So for us, that's titanify.be. So it will create test at titanify.be. So when I was testing, and I have also several Google accounts, this is what you get when you get a meeting notification. And you can see here Titan Automators is what it's called, and then Titan Automators at titanify.be is the email address, right? So this is coming from this one right here. Okay, let's just go ahead and just do test here for now, just to show you the options. You can add more of your stuff to this page. So if you can either just by yourself, or if you have team members, you can add your stuff in here. And you can set up your service. So in the service here is like a 30-minute meeting. Now this is all just to set it up and to get going, right? So we go ahead and we do that. I'm just gonna quit this run right now. So let's get into our page that we already created here. So this is what you get. Basically, if you created your booking page, your shared booking page, you get this, right? On the left hand side, you have your menu with all the options. So now we want to add one more service. I mean, it's an event type, right? It's an event type that I want to add. It's an option for people to book. Within Microsoft 365 bookings, it's called a service. So I have to add a service in here, right? So let's do that. So I'm going to add a service. It's going to be called collaboration intro. You have a description. So I'm going to take this, all of this here. Wait, let me go in here. Just copy this. The downside within Microsoft bookings is that it does not allow any customization of the text, like meaning not any bold, like you have in Calendly here, the bold text and so on, that will not show up in bookings. Okay, then we go ahead, we say it's an online meeting because it's going to be a Teams meeting. Then you have the option to send an anonymous meeting link to customers. Now, if you select this, people that are joining your meeting do not have to sign up anywhere. So even if you have like a Teams account, you can log in with this through the browser anonymously. So I think that's a good idea, just to remove the friction for anybody that wants to book a meeting with you from outside of your organization, to be clear, to just jump into the meeting, okay? So then you set your duration, 30 minutes, it's okay. You can have your buffer time after. I always try to add a little bit of the buffer time afterwards. And then you can set a price. Unfortunately, while you can set a fixed price here, like 150 euros, it does not actually ask the customer to pay. This is different with Calendly. Here you can actually say this is costing 150 euros and you have to pay before you can actually book the meeting, right? So here you can say collect payment, and it can connect to Stripe, and you can ask for a specific amount. And then only when people pay this amount, they will be able to actually book the meeting. This is not yet possible in bookings. It is a feature that is requested a lot. So if you go to the feedback portal in Microsoft, so if you go to feedbackportal.microsoft.com and you look for bookings, right, bookings forum, then you ask for payment, you can already see that there's a lot of people already asking for this. So I'm pretty sure at one point this will be added to bookings. Now going back, so this one is actually for free, so I'm gonna keep it like that. I'm gonna set it to at least 2 or 3, maybe 4 people, because if you only set one and you have somebody else who wants to join, right, it's gonna be a little bit awkward. So we set that, and also want this, right? If we would be booking an appointment on their behalf, we still want them to be able to reschedule. Okay, so there we go. So I'm gonna save changes. The thing that I'm going to disable is this one, because this is going to be set just for this meeting, right? This is not default options. So I'm gonna save here. Okay, then we have added that service here. Now there's more options, of course. So there's availability options where you can set the time increments. So if you go to the booking page, people will see options every 30 minutes, basically, right? This will give them the option only to book 24 hours in advance. Then you have your maximum lead time, so maximum days a booking can be made in advance too. I would not put that a year ahead. I would put that like 30 days ahead, because if you allow people to book a meeting 60 days in the future, people will forget. People already forget what they have booked a week ago, you know, so don't make it that difficult. So I would say put 30 days. Then you have your availability, and then here bookable when staff are free. Okay, this, and you could actually put custom hours. This could be useful if you want this specific meeting to the specific event type meeting, the service, what's in a name. If you want this just to be available in the afternoon, for example, let's say 1 p.m. until 5 p.m. in the afternoon on a Monday, and so on and so on. So then, even though that the staff member or you are available in the morning, it will not be able to, the customer will not be able to select. This is the same as you have in Calendly. So here you can set the available hours, right? So then you can edit the hours as well in Calendly, and then here you can set as well like only from 9 till 5 or from 1 till 5 and so on, specific for this event, right? So it's a bit the same as Calendly. Acuity has the same, okay? So you can do that, or you can just say when staff are free, okay? You can assign staff. So this is when you have multiple people and you want the potential customer or the customers to be able to select any of your staff members. Within Calendly, you can do the same, which you can select which are the hosts of this meeting. You can even say this one. I like this one as well. Assign all of your selected staff for an appointment. So it's like if you have 2 or 3 people that always have to be on this specific call, you can do that as well. Okay. If you disable this one, it will mean that they will not be able to select, and you select which staff member should do this meeting. So if you have multiple people here, you can select the person that should do that specific meeting all the time. So I'm going to put myself here, and I will not allow them to choose because that looks a little bit awkward. And then another great feature of bookings, especially when the shared booking pages, you cannot do that with your personal booking page, are custom fields, right? So within Calendly, I've set up specific questions. So if I go in here, so you have your invitee questions, so first name, yada, 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 okay. And then you have your specific questions. So what kind of business do you have? We can move these ones into bookings as well. So we can do this. Actually, this has to be a drop down. Need to check, have to edit this one. So it's this one, marketing agency. So I got add an option, marketing agency, consultancy, SaaS was the other one, and I save changes. Be careful here. They will only show up if you click on select. So be careful, because that I forgot to do that several times, and then I was thinking, where are my custom fields? Well, they are. Make sure that they are selected, right? And if you want to put them required, first put them on selected, otherwise you cannot click on this. So select and then do this. Same here, do this, save changes, right? We can already test it out here. So if you copy this link, so you have your service booking page link here. So copy it and just put it in your browser, and it will open up the booking page for that specific type of service, meeting type, event type. So there we go. It's automatically selected because that's the only one that we can select here. And we cannot select anybody here, right? Remember that we set here available assigned staff, allow customers to choose. If we allow this, I'll just show you. We go back here, we just do a refresh. So this is an easy way to really quickly test what you're doing. Then you can see that people can select staff. It's optional, right? It could be anybody, or they could select somebody. Now, because I'm the only one in this particular case here, it's a bit weird to show this. So that's why I would definitely recommend just to not allow them to do that, because it's not needed, and it's just an easier, more user-friendly way to get them to book something, okay? So this is what you see, and you can also see here below the custom fields that are added as well. So pretty cool, pretty much the same as with Calendly, right? So with Calendly, we have the questions as well, and so on and so on. They can be required or not. All of that is in here. Okay, so what else do we have? So we have the stuff, we have the custom fields. Then another great thing within bookings, I believe, and I mean, this is the same as within Calendly, but I was surprised that they had this. So they have notifications in bookings, and you have 3 options. You have the email confirmation, right? You have the email reminders, which are mails getting sent before the meeting, and then you have email follow-ups, which are being sent after the meeting. And what I like about this is actually the principle about the fact that we want to use as much as we can from the Microsoft 365 license, which means that, I mean, within Calendly, how should I put this? Usually, what people usually do, what we have set up many times before, is we integrate Calendly with an email marketing tool, right? So whenever they book a meeting here, we can connect that with ClickUp, with ActiveCampaign, with any other tool, with Zapier, with Make.com. We can do that. There are these kind of integrations that we have within Calendly, right? We do that because we want to make sure that we can send emails on a frequent basis before and after the meeting, right? So that's why we do these kind of integrations. You can do that in Calendly as well. Now, you will have to upgrade your license to be able to do that more extensively. You can use workflows as well, as you can see. but you need a higher paying license to do that. Now, this all sounds cool. Within Calendly, within Acuity, you have similar things as well. The point is that it becomes more and more expensive as you do that. So that's why within bookings, within Microsoft 365, if you already have a license, it is included. And you can send these same kind of reminders, follow-ups within bookings. This is not an email marketing tool, but honestly, for some of these things, it's more than enough, right? So, and I was thinking like, okay, you can only send one reminder maybe before the meeting, but actually, so you can select 15 minutes before, 1 day before, you know, all of these kind of things. And you can say, okay, test here, save, but you can add multiple of these, as you can see. So I already did one day before, 15 minutes before, and you can do it almost every 15 minutes or 1 hour. You know, all of these are possible, okay? And I like that. I mean, like, let's say that somebody books a meeting for tomorrow and you have these ones right here, and then they will not be sent. So if you select these, it will, and you have created a meeting a day before, then you will not get these, right? Because it's 3 days before as a timing. Within an email marketing tool, it's a bit tricky because you really need to set up certain filters and checking the date and so on and so on. So this makes it a lot easier to create these kind of email reminders. The downside, of course, is this is not shared among the services, right? So you set it up specifically for this, and if you have to do it for another one, you do it again. So that's where then an email marketing tool can come in handy again. But I like it. I mean, I like that you are able to do that. Also with follow-up emails, you can say 30 minutes after, 1 day, 2 days, and so on and so on and so on. So pretty cool stuff that you can do already within booking. What else do we have here? I think that's about it, right? That we have covered here. So now basically is we have something like this and we can book the call. So, okay, and then once somebody books the call, they get that kind of email as you have seen here, your booking is confirmed. You get your link to the Teams meeting, you can reschedule if you want, and you have your details based on, you have your email, or you have your answers that you filled out in the specific custom questions, right? So pretty cool stuff that you can do within bookings. It will also show up in your calendar, so that's also good to know. What else do we have here? So, okay, so that's to add service in here. Within the booking page itself, so within the booking page itself, you have your overview, you have your calendar overview. So then you can see on a per service basis, which kind of services that have been booked, you know. So this is a great way to have an overview per staff and so on. You have your booking page where you can copy the link. You can set your security here. So if you don't want people to do it themselves through the service, you say no self-service, so it's not available. You have stuff like business page access control. So you can actually disable that it's not going to be search engine found, so no search engine indexing. You can add that here. So a lot of these are in here. What else do we have? Default scheduling policy, that's the one that I showed when you have a service. So if you go to services and you have these kind of default scheduling policy, the default one is where you put it actually here. So here you put the default one, and so on and so on. Okay. The customization of the page is very limited, right? You can just set a color, and it's basically also a logo that it will show. Well, it's fine, you know, it's fine. What else? So we have our overview of customers. I like that as well, that you can actually see your leads if you want, or the people that have actually booked a call. That's also nice to have. You have your staff, you have your services, business information that you can show, and then you have your integrations. And here, of course, that's a big difference as well. If you compare that with, integrations with Calendly, like you have so many integrations with Calendly, and within bookings, you only have it with Power Automate. Now, by itself, it's not a bad thing because Power Automate can be connected to a lot of other things as well by itself, but you will need to add, you will have to do some extra work to connect it maybe to an email marketing provider, right? So that's then the extra step that you need to do within bookings. But other than that, again, if we look at the principle of trying to maximize what we do with Microsoft 365, I think this is a really good option. So the booking page itself looks pretty okay, I would say, right? You have your title. So this will be the name as well of your email that is being sent and the email address of this booking page. Then you have your service. You can open up and you can see there is not really any kind of bold or anything text that you can do here, pretty flat. Then you have your date and your time that you can select, and you fill out your information to basically book that call. So pretty straightforward in terms of a booking page. I would say the link of the booking page looks horrible in terms of customer experience if you compare that with something like Calendly. Right, if we go back and we go into our event types, let's see, let's pick this one. So we copy the link, you'll see pretty quickly that, I mean, Titanify /collaboration intro, this looks pretty okay. This looks good. Compared to this just looks horrible. So in terms of customer experience, not really the best. But okay, I mean, it has its advantages. It's included within your subscription, within your Microsoft 365 subscription, so you don't need to pay extra for all of these features that you have. And in many cases, this is more than enough. Even if you would want to set something up like this for internal use, you don't need to use another tool anymore, right? You can do it internally. So that's it. Very short overview of what Bookings is and how we can migrate this one, the Calendly, into Bookings. So I will continue to do this, and eventually I will definitely use Bookings because we use Microsoft 365. I really want to make sure that we maximize the usage of our tools here, and then we can put everything in here. So that was it. I hope this was valuable, that you got some information that you can apply within your own business. Again, if you have any more questions about this, put them in comments, reach out to me. I'm happy to help you out. And remember, it's not just about putting everything in one tool. It's about maximizing what you already have, right? And if you have this question about, well, what should I use actually, right? I get that question a lot. And actually the answer is pretty cliche. It's pretty stupid almost, because it depends. It depends on what you have already. It depends on what you want to achieve, what the goals are, or what the goal is. And this is what we need to take into account, right? But rest assured that if you're using something of Microsoft 365, even if it's just Outlook for now, you should really consider looking beyond that and looking at tools like online bookings, like Microsoft Bookings, but also Teams, SharePoint, Loop, the new Loop that is out. I will be creating more videos about all of these tools in the next few days and weeks, so stick around, right? And you will see more of that coming your way. Thanks for watching today, and we'll see each other another time.